We should probably do Elon and Tucker.
Two cool guys.
Yeah, two normal men hanging out, you know? I like that they're in a white void. I like that they didn't pretend to be in a man cave here. Two normal guys just hanging out, shooting the shit about politics. Don't you want to hang out with these guys? Don't you want to be like these guys?
There's so much to learn from these two guys.
Let's hear these very likable people have a normal conversation about politics with no perverse incentive whatsoever.
If he loses, man, what?
That's because you went on YouTube. That's what I sent you the Twitter link. You're not gonna be able to use that. We'll get to it in a sec. I'll read some IMs. They're pulling it. They're pulling it off every place. I tried to find it on YouTube too, but they're pulling it off every place that's not Twitter. Christo, I'm heartening to see the recent billboard yard sign blitz in more conservative Quakertown and Hellertown. Supporters for Harris. Yep. Fart Twain. Sorry, kids. Santa's white. He just is. Hottenheim. I've bled more and took longer to heal from accidentally cutting myself with a scythe. Literally such self-important nonsense, making it sound as bad as possible. Maybe if he had ever worked a hard job in his life, he would have some context for getting hurt. No, Trump doesn't like, really, he doesn't like germs. He's very squeamish about things like blood. He doesn't really like crowds. He likes the cheering, but he doesn't like his own supporters.
I kind of like the moment where where he was defensive about how much money he got to start his career.
Yeah.
Like, he was really upset. Like, it's just $100,000.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I in the 70s or 80s.
It was not that, though. Most people estimate it was $100 million.
Even if it was just that, even if it was just $100,000 1980s money, bro.
Right.
I mean,
he's sensitive to the fact that analyses of his wealth show that he would have more money today if he put the money that he got in an index fund versus what he did, aka multiple bankruptcies.
Exactly. I mean, he is a symptom.
Exactly. Okay, so we're back. So Tucker Carlson and Elon Musk had an exclusive conversation on the X platform, the video platform, you know, where we all go to watch videos. Twitter. Totally. Two normal men having a very normal conversation about politics.
One should be wearing socks, but whatever.
I know, but this is the trend. You're not into the no-show socks.
On the coast trend, I think.
It very much is the trend of no-show socks. But at least they didn't try to cosplay and go to Tucker's like renovated woodshed place to look like real men. They're in a white void talking to everybody about their political views. Totally not biased, by the way. Elon Musk donating $45 million to Trump's re-election effort every single month. And I don't know. That might have something to do with claims like this.
If he loses, man, what? You're fucked, dude.
I'm fucked.
Fuck, dude.
If he loses, I'm fucked.
It does seem that way. You can't just be like, yo,
Yeah, I'm like, how long do you think my prison sentence is going to be? Do you think? Will I see my children? I don't know.
Because it's not like you can say, well, yeah, I maxed out to him, but, you know, I have
no plausible deniability. No, and I've been trashing Kamala nonstop.
Oh, I know.
Well, the Kamala puppet, I call her, you know. The machine that the Kamala puppet represents.
Yeah, she's irrelevant. I mean, she's not even.
No, I made a joke which I realized I deleted, which is like nobody's even bothering to try to kill Kamala because it's pointless. What do you achieve? Nothing.
No, it's totally
Just find
right.
another puppet.
Exactly. That's.
It's no point in killing.
It's deep and true, though.
Nobody's trying to kill Joe Biden.
It
would be pointless.
Totally. You actually put that up?
Yeah. Now, some people interpreted it as though I was calling for people to
of course,
assassinate her. But I was like, no, even, I was like, doesn't it seem strange that no one's even bothered to try?
It's not worth it.
I mean,
there's an endless supply.
yeah, like nobody would. It's absurd.
It could be anybody.
Yeah. Nobody's gonna try to. Nobody tries to assassinate a puppet.
Of course not.
None of these guys can
Marionette.
talk.
Yeah, marionette. It's just like,
It's hilarious.
So funny. It's so funny.
What? She's safe. Like, like to try to kill Trump twice with actual guns and bullets.
Okay. Okay. So, I am so sick of hearing this bullshit about how the Democrats have incited violence against the dear President Trump. But you have one of the richest men on earth and the formerly top-rated cable host on the planet, Tucker Carlson, before he had to leave Fox News because he cost them millions and millions of dollars because Fox News repeated election lies about Dominion and voting over and over again, and Tucker Carlson was one of the primary liars on that front. They had to get rid of him for that reason. I don't want to hear one more thing about how Democrats, because they call Trump a dictator, or some Democrats may go as so far as to call him Hitler. I reserve that for Netanyahu, but some Democrats may call him Hitler 2.0, that is the same as the incitement to violence that is perpetual on the right. And they open their interview just musing about how, why would you even bother? Why even try to kill Kamala Harris? Now I'm sounding like them. Go on.
They posted my exact real-time location, basically
Yes.
assassination coordinates, in obvious
Yes.
direct violation of Twitter terms of service. Yeah, okay.
This is when he banned the the account that was tracking his private
Showing
jet.
how much he flew around, yeah.
Doing the same for Taylor Swift, they were right, yeah, and his assassination coordinates, trying to call him out for being a climate criminal. That's apparently also an incitement to violence, but hilariously musing about assassinating Kamala Harris, and why has no one bothered yet? Oh, she's just a puppet. What does that mean? It's so the whole right-wing ecosystem. First of all, like, you know, he says the same thing as Joe Biden, but that's more of a throwaway line. Like, the assassination attempt on Trump didn't prove anything. We know that this Groyper dude was looking up when both Biden and Trump were coming to town. Perhaps it was more likely that Trump was coming to town because Biden wasn't doing any freaking public events. So that's what he landed on. It's not about the threat to the system, and they can't define the system. It's just a threat to his pocketbook.
Well, they also, like, there's no consistency, obviously, but they were just saying a few weeks ago that Biden was cooed by Kamala Harris because it apparently does matter with them, that it does matter that she's the one in charge all of a sudden.
Yes.
So actually, maybe there's some inconsistency there. I mean, yeah.
I like how if Kamala Harris wins, that's why Elon Musk won't see his children again. Or could it be the fact that he doesn't have a relationship with a lot of his children, including his trans daughter, who he misgenders on a daily basis?
Yeah, and I mean, there should be consequences if Kamala does win for this guy. There should not be military contracts signed with a guy like Elon Musk.
No.
There should be, I mean, the way that private contracts are given out by the military-industrial complex itself is under question. But you certainly cannot be an edgelord that's buying up major communications platforms for to make sure your investments and elections go the way that they want. He's a joke. It's a joke the way that he's allowed to just gallop all over our country. And he came here undocumented. Not that I usually care about that stuff, but if you're going to go to the border and put a camera at people who are trapped under a goddamn overpass, waiting to get processed, I think he should be kicked out of the fucking country. Frankly, not just no contracts, but Obama gave him $300 million to keep Tesla alive. 15 years ago, and this is what we get.
This is what he does with it. I mean, this is how, by the way, the entire tech industry has gone, where the Democrats played footsie with Facebook that ended up being Meta. Now Mark Zuckerberg is cozying up to Jim Jordan to say, actually, you were totally right about our bias. If you get into power, please don't come after us. And Elon Musk, another Silicon Valley guy that had all these promises for Democrats about electric vehicles and saving the planet. And what do you know? He ends up being just as much of a right-wing reactionary as any of these folks. Peter Thiel, also enabled by this kind of deference to these capitalists. And they end up always, when their industry gets big enough and they want to make more money, they go to the right wing, where they're going to get an even more cozy reception. But their power was midwifed by the Democrats in this regard. Ramona Frankenstein writes in, this is a great point. Remember when Trump was telling people to liberate Michigan and then a militia planned to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer? I mean, yeah. This is the same. This is why also his whining about the rhetoric on the side of the Democrats is just like, if you're not a MAGA person, you already don't buy it. Here's, two very normal men.
Peter Thiel and Elon Musk there, two guys who were already just right-wing freak nematode style tombs from X-Files mutants, but they struck it big with this PayPal stuff, and so now they have money just to throw around and distort the entirety of our society. And so we have stupid trucks, and I can't wait for the Doge government efficiency office and all that stuff. It's a great future we have with two guys, two totally normal guys.
Do you like how it says X.com on the cards that they're holding?
I do. I mean, this is why
I've been trying to do this for 20 years.
Baby brain dude is just obsessed with the idea of X.com. He'd been holding on to that. He'd been holding a grudge with the other PayPal guys for not changing PayPal to X.
I mean, go look at, you saw how Musk stumbled over his words with Tucker Carlson here. Go look at Thiel in Oxford. Like, neither of these guys, they've lost the capacity for actual human communication. And they're supposed to be the sort of lords of innovation. Please.
And no one, like, to the stuff about Kamala being a puppet, like, who are the puppet masters in this situation? Because it's both, I mean, we can know what at least Tucker Carlson is alluding to with his audience. It's Jewish people, basically, but
not the Zionists.
And that's what's right. Not the Zionists, just Soros, and then the Jewish people that we don't like for their conspiracy theory.
The DEI Jewish people.
Well, although Tucker does try to go down this road and say that actually we should care about Palestinians, but only the Palestinian Christians, because this is anti-Christian discrimination. Right. But who are the puppet masters that is both forcing Joe Biden out of the race, and then once doing that, they are also using Kamala Harris as a marionette, as Elon Musk laughs at his own joke there. Like, who are those forces? Who could they possibly be? They never define it. It is true that Biden, after his horrific debate performance where it was clear that he was declining, the Democratic Party apparatus, along an agonizing three-week period, came together to push him out of the race because it was quite clear that he would lose and destroy Democrats down ballot. In the Senate and in the House, it could take multiple election cycles for the Democrats to recover. So that's the big puppet master conspiracy theory there, that the Democratic Party realized that it was in their electoral self-interest to get rid of Joe Biden, and Joe Biden was the incumbent, so he had power in that situation. He held on for dear life until he couldn't possibly anymore after Nancy Pelosi was basically threatening him to go even more public with her protestations. Now Kamala Harris is in charge, and it's not even worth assassinating her because her puppet strings are being pulled as well. But how? Can you define that? They can't. Because at the end of the day, this is Elon Musk's bottom line that he's worried about. And he's worried about investigations into the obvious political biases of Twitter. He acquired Twitter in 2022 by saying that he wanted to get rid of political bias in there, and that Twitter may have engaged in, according to him and Matt Taibbi, election interference by temporarily restricting the New York Post article that published Hunter Biden's news, which were supposedly taken from a laptop that was abandoned at some shop. No one knows how they actually got this material. It could have been hacked, in the same way that this dossier about J.D. Vance, which had information about his positions, that Elon Musk has banned Ken Klippenstein for publishing that dossier. Banned him. But it was apparently his acquisition was to take over Twitter. to
it was
remove
free
political
speech.
bias for free speech, and now he's stumping for the Republican candidate, jumping around at his rally like a little toddler, the creepiest toddler you've ever seen, and banning people that post things that are critical of Trump's running mate. So.
And you may have mentioned this as well. We've obviously mentioned this a number of times before, but I also think there was an addition that we may have not discussed as much in the time frame. But we talk about Elon censoring certain voices and tweets about voices in India critical of Narendra Modi.
Yep.
Just recently, Vanity Fair was reporting how Musk had been also censoring voices of certain people on Twitter in regards to the Turkish elections. So, it's extremely conditional where the free speech warrior decides to fight.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.